Alrighty guys, it's that time of year. We're back with another collection update. So without further ado, let's begin. So first we have my remote control Herbie, which is modified to look like Herbie that was in Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. It's a beautiful looking car. And of course, he's dusty because he hasn't been used in a while. Also has to be cleaned, but he still works. Next is this Herbie that you like a decoration, I believe. It has this cargo piece on top, and it says Herbie Grossen Fort. Looks like I probably said that incorrectly. I believe this is like an order beetle because it has like the oval window as opposed to like the square window that Herbie has. It also has an old steering wheel and old dashboard in it, which is pretty cool. Next is this remote control street race Herbie that was released for Herbie Fully Loaded. It doesn't work anymore, but I thought it was cool, so I added it to the collection. Looks pretty cool to me. Next is my custom Street Racer Herbie. It had the stripes and the 53 on it. I also like this open sunroof, which I think a lot of Herbies should also have. There's the back of the car, the inside. Nice little car. Next is my custom Playmobil Herbie. I have two drivers inside. I made the license plate. I believe I modified this one to like a Herbie that was in Herbie Goes Bananas. Try to make like the lettering on the tires. I'm proud of that one. Next is my custom build cardboard Herbie that was modified to look like the Herbie that was in the original Love Bug. It's still intact after all these years I've had this car. I think I'm probably going to build another one in the near future. Next is another custom Herbie I made. We had the stripes and 53, and also had a sunroof that was made out of a piece of cardboard and just glued to the roof of the car. Look at that. And also added the tape that goes over the headlights, like how it was in Love Bug when Herbie went racing in the beginning of the movie. I thought that was a little cool thing to do. Next is my 1/18 scale Hot Wheels Herbie. This is the first one I got, I think, Christmas 2018, I believe. And you can tell how much this one was used since like the 53 and like the stripes are like disappearing, they're scratched off. I try to keep this one intact because of how much I've used this car. Next is my new Love Bug Herbie. This one is still intact. It still has the antenna on and the little mirror on the side. Let's get the hood open. There's the spare tire. And in the interior, I have the racing seatbelts and the gas tank in the back. There's the back of the car. Next is my 1/18 scale Monte Carlo Herbie, which I absolutely adore. See, open up the hood. There's a spare tire, and right there is the Étoile de Joie Diamond. This one, like the original Love Bug, has the seatbelts and has the high bucket seats in the back. It has the France race decals on the car. Next is the Solido Monte Carlo Herbie, which I would consider expensive and rare because of how hard this one is to get. But I adore this one. He looks adorable with like the headlights. They look like his eyes. This one looks adorable. Speaking of which, I still have to get my hands on the other Solido Herbie, which may come in the next collection video. Next up is one of 3 1/18 scale Johnny Lightning Herbies. This one, I believe, me and my dad, we took spare parts from another Johnny Lightning Herbie and just rebuilt this one. Like, we built the bumper and put both bumpers back on. There's the steering wheel that's partially broken, if you can see it. And under the hood, here's the spare tire. Next up is the second Johnny Lightning Herbie. As you can see, this one has been through a lot. Both bumpers are missing, both taillights are missing. If we look at the hood, that's a hubcap for one of the tires. And finally, we've come to the last Johnny Lightning Herbie. This one I showcased in the eBay purchase video I made. And so this is the one. So I finally 3D printed bumpers to put on the car. So there's the one in the front, there's the one in the back. I made a new mirror. If my camera can focus, as you can see. And also put the piece of tape on the headlights to make them look like the race car in the beginning of the Love Bug. Maybe someday I'll 3D print bumpers for the previous Herbie we just saw. Next up are my two Herbie plushies. This is the one I had as a kid, and pretty much this one just stays on my bed. And this is the one I got at my local flea market that I saw, and this one still has the tag on it for the store. I believe I got this one for $2, I believe, and if you look on eBay, they go for like a ridiculous amount of money, so that was a good find. Next is my monster truck Herbie. That was released for 2021. So this is one of them. This will have the other one that's still in the packaging. So this is a great. I think this is the newest piece of Herbie merchandise, like official Herbie merchandise, I should say, to be released. Toy companies should make more Herbie merchandise if you think that. Next is my Jetta Herbie. That's supposed to look like the NASCAR Herbie that was seen at the end of Herbie Fully Loaded. For this one, the stripes are altered. It's blue, white, red when it's supposed to be red, white, blue. And the 53 is not on this chrome edging. That's like how it should be. So there's under the hood. There's the inside with only like one seat. And there's the back where the engine is. And it says Jetta on the back of the car. Next is my other Jetta Herbie, which I had as a kid. And I successfully restored. I was like redrawing the old decals on the car. As you can see, there's the inside, the interior. So the hood. Here's the back of the car, and the license plate is fading off, but it used to say OFP 857, like how Herbie's real license plate is. Next is my model Herbie. That's supposed to look like the Herbie from the Love Bug TV movie. I think I went and repainted the sunroof black later, but the sunroof was originally like white or tan, I believe. But I went and repainted it because it looked weird. But it's still cool. As you can see, there's the interior. Place it down. And there's the spare tire. Next is another custom. This one is supposed to look like the Herbie from Herbie Rides Again. So the mirror, and then the antenna, and there's the fog light on the hood. This one turned out great. And there's the interior, painted the gray like how it always has to be. So that one turned out great. Next is probably one of my favorite Herbies I have. This is my 1/24th scale Herbie. The thing I probably don't like about it is like the sunroof. But other than that, it's pretty cool, I believe. Next is my custom Lego Herbie. So I gave him the darker blue racing stripes, which I like. And there's the 53s. I lost the 53 on the front of the hood, so I had to make another one. So there's the windshield wipers, and I gave him both mirrors because why not? The sunroof is accessible. It's like removing that, and then there's the interior. And I also made this to look like the roll bar that he has in the movies. So I thought it looked pretty cool. Next is another custom Herbie I have. This is one I had as a kid, but I went back and rebuilt it. So like there's a spare tire placed like flat. So you can tell this is a later Beetle because the hood is a lot longer, and of course the spare tire is placed flat like I just saw. But it's still a pretty cool car. Next is an off-brand Herbie, I would probably call it. This is one I saw at my local Dollar Tree about a year ago in January. I saw this and I was like, oh, this is like a Herbie, so I bought it. I believe this was sold for a little bit of time because last time I went there, I didn't see this one. So it was probably a one-time kind of thing, but so it was a good thing I picked it up. Next up, I would call this one probably my first Herbie I had as a child. This is my pullback Herbie that was used for Herbie Fully Loaded. And it still works. It's still like intact, but there's like a little bit of damage to it. Like the 53 is scratching away, and also with the stripe too, and the front license plate. But I absolutely love this one. The white has like faded, like basically how it's been in the sun for a long time. But you can tell that this one was loved, and it really, really was. Next up is my custom 1/32 scale street racer Herbie, which I did a video on. And the wing in the back, and these little things he has on the side. This one is pretty cool. Next up is my custom 1/32 scale Monte Carlo Herbie. So it has the front license plate, a back license plate too, and a Trans France race decals on him. The Carlo fog light and the gas cap, and all the tires are painted have the Goodyear GT radial lettering on him. And there's the part of the car. And that is supposed to be the diamond, like how it was in this Monte Carlo Herbie with the diamonds just like right there. So I thought just add it right there just for a little fun. Next is my custom Herbie Goes Bananas Herbie. This one I like. It has the Goodyear GT radial lettering on all the tires. And this one has like an actual mirror on the side. And this one also has the overriding bumpers on the back and also on the front too. So that's pretty cool. Next up is just a plain white Herbie. I found this one on Amazon, and I was thinking of like putting like a piece of cardboard on the top of the car to be able to look at the sunroof, but I was like, I chose not to because this looks pretty cool. Next is my custom 1/32 scale Nightmare Herbie from Herbie Rides Again. This one has like the teeth, and it tastes like Mr. Hawk in the Nightmare sequence. It's pretty cool, I believe. Great Halloween decoration, too. Next are two Herbie AirPod cases. This is the one that I use, but this is the one I got for my birthday, but it broke because the tire on the back broke off, so I got a new one. So this one just stays on the shelf with all the others. Next is my ornament Herbie. Well, one of them, I should say. This one I fixed up, well, tried to fix the bumpers, gave them new bumpers on the front and back. So it's alright, I should say. Next is my 1/43 scale Monte Carlo Herbie, which is pretty cool. You should see all the little details are on the car. It's pretty cool. Here's another Lego Herbie I made. I believe I tried to make this one look like the one that's at Disney World in Florida, where it has like the eyes as the headlights, so I thought I'd do that. It's so tiny and adorable. Next is another custom Herbie I made. I believe this one was a Super Beetle made by Maisto, and I just went and fixed up to look like a Love Bug Herbie in the beginning of the Love Bug movie. Next is another custom Herbie I made. This is like a little baby Herbie. It's like a pullback, and I made it like the Herbie from Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo, as you can see. It's adorable. Next up are two 1/64 scale Johnny Lightning Herbies. The one on the left is a Herbie that was made for Herbie Fully Loaded, and the other one is look at Herbie from the Love Bug. As you can see, both have really seen like better days, how scratched up they are, but you could tell that these were both loved, and they were. Next is another custom Herbie I have. This is also like the Herbie from Herbie Rides Again, the fog light on the front. I think this one turned out great, I believe. Next are two 1/64 scale Love Bug Herbies released by Hot Wheels. It's adorable. That's all I gotta say. It's all tiny and adorable. Next is a mini slot car Herbie. Next is a 1/87 scale Herbie, if I recall. This is one I use for some videos because of how tiny it is. So it's tiny. The thing I would like to say about this one is like, well, I should say I don't like is just like the back of the sunroof. It'd just be like a little bit longer towards the back, then it's gonna be good. But it is what it is, and like all of the Herbies, as you can see, they're all special and unique in their own way. We are on the second to last Herbie, and this one, I believe, was modeled off of a Tootsie Roll Beetle, I mean. This one also has a lot of wear and tear in it, with the paint is scratching off of it. But it's still cool. And finally, we now reached to the last Herbie in the collection. Here's this little teeny tiny baby Herbie. This one was like also another ornament. It's so tiny and adorable. I adore this one. Anyways, let's talk about what I have on the background. So, here we have the Zip Zaps remote control Herbie. A 5-pack of Herbie stuff released for Herbie Fully Loaded by Johnny Lightning. That is an official, like, that's not a Herbie, but it was used by Hot Wheels. It has like the red, white, and blue stripes on it, so I was like, I'll add it to the collection. Why not? This is a custom Herbie that was made by someone. I thought it was awesome looking. So it keeps in this packaging, and it looks cool, and it gave him like better wheels, which look great. Better racing wheels, I should say. That one's great. Over here are a few in-box Herbies. As you can see, there's the Johnny Lightning Herbie I also have. And that is a custom ornament I made. So if you want to see more in depth of this one, be sure to let me know, and I'll go in more depth in this one in another video. Over here are two in-box pullback Herbies that are released for Herbie Fully Loaded. These are two pins of one says Love Bug and one is just Herbie on his own. Over here is the box for the Monte Carlo Soito Herbie. And over here is the box for the 1/18 scale Monte Carlo Herbie. And over here is the box for the 1/18 scale Love Bug Herbie. And there's the Herbie 53 made out of Lego that I made. Over here is the Seabreeze point scene from the original Love Bug made by Johnny Lightning. There's the box for the 1/43rd scale Monte Carlo Herbie. Over here is the other in-box monster truck Herbie that was released by Hot Wheels. Over here is the box for the model Herbie that I made. Here are two models, Lego models I should say, of Herbie released by Me Models. So I have two of them, which are pretty cool, I should say. Over here is the Jetta Punch Buggy Herbie. As you can see, it has the red, white, and blue stripes on him, which was a pretty cool find I found, I should say. And last is the box for my 1/24th scale Herbie, which just has the 53 and the racing stripes on the box, which looks pretty cool. And with that, guys, we have now come to the end of the collection. All I gotta say is thank you for watching, and happy 54 years of the Love Bug, and can't wait for 50 years of Herbie Rides Again next year. So thanks for watching, and enjoy your day.